Let's bring up Kurt Nimmo, who's writing a big article on this, writer for Infowars.com. Kurt, I mean, this is really happening. And then they go, oh, all over the country. In fact, pull this up for people on screen. Marines at checkpoints with State Police California. And we can show you the CHIPS press release, armed Marines pulling citizens in Central California out of their cars with firearms with breathalyzers. And in Austin, they pull you out with these blank warrants, these fake warrants, and suck your blood for DNA testing and all this crap. And now the media admits from birth for 36 years, everybody who's born had their blood taken and put in the Cold Springs Harbor eugenics lab for the IBM human genome for race-specific bioweapons. That's now mainstream news. The government's totally rogue, totally criminal. They do whatever they want, and I'm the sane, normal person. There it is. U.S. Marines running California checkpoints. Current.com. That's the local newspaper. And, the newspaper saw Marines out with their weapons. This is America. And then they said, oh, the Army and the Army Times is going to help at car wrecks and fight DWI. You're not for car wrecks, are you? The Army needs to help with the jaws of life. It's PR, getting the troops used to it, the public used to it. But this says Guard units training for the American people to attack them. This is mainstream news. Kurt Nimmo, tell us what's happening.
Well, as you pointed out, the News Tribune published an article on June 30th indicating that the National Guard out of Camp Crowder is setting up these, had this simulated attack on their troops. Actually, what it is a medical attachment to, as you noted, a medical attachment to the National Guard. What's interesting about this is they say that the simulated attacks came on checkpoints set up by the National Guard, which is very interesting.
Okay, continue to break that down. Go over this article.
Well, they basically said, it's interesting, this article is written by Celis Allen, who's attached to the military. The writers got a U.S. Army military email address on the article. So this article was put in a local newspaper in Missouri.
Which is what the Cybersecurity Command in San Antonio says. They're now going to engage in counter-terrorist propaganda, just like they do in Iraq, against us, preparing for the American people to attack the Army at checkpoints. So what that means is when the Army's checking your national ID, pulling you out, sticking you in trucks to take you to FEMA camps, as they publicly drill to do, that's the Civilian Inmate Labor Camp program at Army.mil. If anybody fights back, it'll be on the news, terrorist attack military today. And it'll really be a family not letting them take their kids and put them in a FEMA bus.
Just like in Baghdad. It's exactly the same thing.
Just like Fallujah. Please continue.
So what's going to happen here is I predict that these are going to be increasingly common, these, brainwashing and training the National Guard to, have these simulated wars with so-called insurgents, as they're called in the articles, and militants, as they're called in the article. And as you mentioned, the DHS is conflated, white supremacist and militia with constitutionalists and supporters of Ron Paul and Chuck Baldwin, and that's the terrorists, that's the militants, are the constitutionalists and the patriots.
Well, this is in the California papers. It's everywhere. This is in Missouri, and this is where the Mayak report came out saying Ron Paul sticker, go ahead and arrest him. It doesn't matter if we have the lieutenant governor have it removed and people get in trouble. They're going to continue this. And I remember an Austin American Statesman article about the new Green Jobs Corps and how they're going out and assessing what the carbon taxes should be on, because they know the bill gives them unlimited power. And it's run by a Army psych warfare expert who helped set up the control grid in Afghanistan. So they have spooks openly going to rule us. I mean, these guys are going for broke, man.
Yeah.
They are going for broke here, Kurt.
Right. Well, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens once they set up the checkpoints. They expect the checkpoints to be attacked. I mean, obviously, if things get really bad when the economy goes down, people probably will attack these checkpoints.
Well, see, because they're going to shut down the highways. I mean, the Army admits this, and this is in the training I've witnessed. I'm showing people real video where the Marines and I actually searched highways and real citizens in Swansboro in 2000. I mean, they show up at these quotes. Same thing was happening in Arcadia in Iowa. They go to people's... Listen, our camera guys in Hebron, Maryland, the Marines came over and pointed guns at them and said, turn your cameras off, and they were practicing taking over the city hall. That's what the John Warner Defense Authorization Act says, is that the main thing is to take over the states. I mean, this is high treason in front of everyone. They've been training them for decades, but now it looks like it's, here they are in Hebron patrolling at night. And then they went and complained that we were videoing, so the troops walk up, point a heavy at us and say, look. And they had the police backing them up, and they said, you don't tape in America. Land of the coward, home of the slave. So I can't believe this. I have police in the news tasering a Waffle House employee for fun, and the police are defending it and say, we're now going to taser you just for fun.
Alex, I wanted to mention another aspect of this article is one of the role players for the so-called insurgents was, after he was arrested or captured, he spoke in broken English. That's very interesting they would put that in there, because there was this report a couple of weeks ago where this so-called leader of the Taliban or Al-Qaeda said that they were going to team up with white supremacists in the United States and attack America.
Well, yeah, this is the white Al-Qaeda. We told people 7 years ago, they're going to first get you to give up your rights to only hurt the brown people, the Taliban. And then the whole thing's really set up for the good old boys. Exactly. Because it's the land-grabbing ponytail brigade that runs all this. You're the real target, fools. Well, look, the farmers and ranchers have got to be hit by them to know. And then they'll fight back, and they're going to be called terrorists. But no, this is so when you're at a checkpoint, your kids are going in one truck with a pedophile CPS, and you're going to another camp in the Civilian Inmate Labor Camp Program. In fact, Google that. Civilian Inmate Labor Camp Program. We'll first show them that article. Domestic militarization comes to San Bernardino County. It has direct links to the Highway Patrol's own press release. Then this later got picked up by the local newspaper in San Bernardino. I mean, Kurt, this is really happening. And then now they have the Army writing in local papers going, be calm, we're in control. We're the U.S. Army. We're here locally to fight the militia, Al-Qaeda. And when none of this is even going on, which means they're going to stage events very soon. We've been saying that. Now look at Von Brunn, look at Poplawski, look at others. It's incredible, isn't it, Kurt?
Oh, yeah, and they intimate in this article that the veterans will be with them as well.
Oh, so it's saying that oh, by the way, we're not against the veterans. They're going to be helping us. It says that?
No, it says they'll be using smoke grenades and other explosive improvised devices, indicating that the military will be involved in this.
Oh, of course the military's got to kill us. We'll be right back.
Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to HomeGain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to HomeGain.com. Use their Home Sale Maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home's value before you put it on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com. Look for Max, the orange Home Gain Gorilla, to help you with any real estate needs you might have. You'll love this site. It's HomeGain.com, HomeGain.com. Check them out today.
Folks, the majority of training for the military and the military police now is to take on the American people. This is high treason. Offshore banks have seized the United States. Going back at least 10 years at Kentucky Derby, they have regular Army there searching for citizens. Then in my film Martial Law, we got video and photos from high school football games with the Army. They're searching children, and then the State Guard and National Guard from Alabama to Tennessee. Then a few months ago, we had the state rep on and the governor's statement. The Army and the Air Force and the BATF were doing mock gun confiscation drills, shutting down major Tennessee highways, searching cars. The governor said don't do it again. That weekend, the Army went ahead and did it. In fact, Google that for viewers. Let's put that on screen for people. I could just go on with hundreds of examples. Military runs checkpoints in Tennessee and show people the photos from the local papers. Now, I'm sitting down at a restaurant at Waterloo Ice House with my wife and children. The TV's on, and it's the Kentucky Derby a month ago. We're not really paying attention. The horses just won. I'm biting into the food. I look up, and there are troops running out on the field, tackling citizens that always jump off and run out. They didn't have police do it, and they had 45s out. This is all illegal, and they're to acclimate you to accept it. Kurt Nimmo, do people realize that this is really happening and they're training to kill veterans?
I don't even think most people even realize this. I mean, if you look at the newspaper in the last couple of days, in California on the 4th of July, they're going to take some attack helicopters and fly them up and down the coast during celebrations just to get people acclimated to having the military there.
Remember the Alabama shooting when they had the troops show up and lock the city down hours after it was open? We announced it and people didn't believe us, and then later there was an Army investigation?
Well, the Associated Press, they published a photo of it, but that was it. They didn't cover it in the media at all. Incidentally, Alex, in regard to that Tennessee thing, it wasn't just the military. It was also the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, a bunch of federal agencies. They were all participating in that checkpoint.
Yeah, it said 35 agencies.
Right.